Heavy rainstorms cause widespread damage in Bali, and another traffic operation is underway. Make sure you have all your documents and your helmet. Stay tuned for details. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is July 12th, 2023, and my name is Bruce. And what's the weather like today? Not too bad, 29.1 degrees Celsius, 54% humidity, wind speed 6.9 kilometers per hour. Cloudy, but dry here. And one of the main stories is the weather, and so let's get right into that. Heavy rain caused widespread damage in Bali. If you've been here, you know it has been raining in parts of Bali, especially down in the south. We've had several continuous days of rain back on Friday and Saturday, and that resulted in widespread destruction throughout the island. There were 78 disaster incidents reported as of Monday. This is information accumulated by the Provincial Disaster Mitigation Agency and other sources as well. Of the 78 incidents, there were 31 fallen trees, 12 floods, and some of the floods, wow, were massive. If you've seen the videos, you know what I'm talking about. 29 landslides, 4 collapsed buildings, 1 bridge destroyed, 1 washed out road, 2 casualties, this is an interim account, 5 fatalities, and 1 person missing as of yesterday evening. The Denpasar metropolitan area, Gianyar Regency, Tabanan Regency, Jembrana Regency, Karangasem, Kelungkung, all reported massive damage. Bulang Regency, interestingly enough, no incidents reported as of yesterday. The north, relatively safe. And here in Kampung Bugis, we had a couple of days of rain and a little bit, not too much. And so we've been lucky here. And there's flooding in Japan, there's flooding in the United States. So the weather is just crazy. If you're coming into Bali, well, this is the dry season, but you may be surprised. You may get some rain. So make sure you've got some rain gear and you've got something to do in case you're stuck inside your hotel room or your homestay or your B&B or whatever they are, I don't know, Airbnb, because it could rain. I don't know what's happening around the island right now. This is Wednesday morning. So wherever you are, leave a comment. What's the weather like where you are today? Right now, as I said, it is lovely up here in Kampung Bugis. And so the second major story today, besides the weather, Patuh Agung Operation 2023, tourism recovers high traffic cases. The traffic accidents within the jurisdiction of the Bali police continues to increase every year. The increase in the number of cases is in line with the increase in the number of drivers in the midst of the tourism situation, which is recovering rather quickly after being hit by the COVID-19 pandemic for several years. The Bali Regional Police have made various efforts, starting with outreach as ways to let people know about the traffic rules as if they don't already. As an effort to reduce traffic accidents for the next 2 weeks, how about forever? In Bali, the Bali Police, together with the ranks of the Resort Police Polresta, are holding Operation Patuh Agung 2023. Bali Police Chief Inspector said traffic accidents in 2022 increased from 2021, and in 2023, the potential for more is even higher, considering that there are more and more people using vehicles, especially foreigners who don't know how to drive here. In general, the results of the evaluation of violations were dominated by incomplete vehicle licenses, documents, use of safety belts, violation of road signs and markings, lack of wearing a helmet. The police admitted that the traffic problems can't be solved by them alone, but a synergistic participation is needed between national police and the local government and the whole community. Without coordination, according to him, between all parties, it can have implications for the lack of optimal availability of road traffic facilities and infrastructure. public transport regulations, and low levels of public awareness and discipline in complying with the rules and regulations in the traffic sector. And yeah, people obey the rules when they have to, and when they don't, yeah, sometimes they obey them and sometimes they don't. We're all aware of this, those of us that live here and people that visit as well. You can see quickly, traffic here is crazy. Wow, in some places just bumper to bumper, and some of this is because people continue to park in places they're not supposed to along the side of the road, which makes narrow roads even narrower. It makes it difficult to get through. And then you get people who are on motorbikes and they don't want to wait and they try to scrooge through, and well, it's just crazy. Let's drive on the sidewalks. Why not? Because that's a good idea too. So traffic here, maybe when the LRT is built, things will be better. But for now, the police are going to be out watching people again. So make sure that you've got a helmet, you've got a driver's license that's legal. That means you have to have an international permit or an Indonesian license. Make sure you have your vehicle documents, you've got the helmet on, you have some clothes on, you have some shoes on, and you shouldn't be smoking or drinking while driving, and that story is coming up at the end, so stay tuned for that. And here's a story that could be a big story. Not clear right now what's going on, and so I'm not going to try to figure this whole thing out. I'm just going to talk about what is in the press right now. The background about this, just quickly, is that an Australian tourist claims that she was extorted for 15 million rupiah at the airport. And so let's see what this story says. Sandiaga's response to alleged extortion of 15.2 million rupiah from Aussie foreigners in Bali. And so the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy has gotten involved in this. And he said, chill. Don't jump to conclusions. Pak Sandiaga said, if we misinterpret this, it will have a bad impact on the image of tourism. Do you think? He said this last night in an online meeting. According to him, the alleged extortion case against foreign nationals needs to be investigated further. Should there be a violation, of course, there will be sanctions, he said. However, before that, we convey to the tourism world that Indonesia will not tolerate extortion activities. The head of the Bali Provincial Tourism Office, Bagus Pamayun, talked about many times, said he's still waiting for results of the investigation regarding the alleged extortion. He's also coordinating with the head of the Nurai Immigration Office. Everything is being looked at, he said, including the CCTV at the airport, to see if the tourists from Australia are really in that situation of being extorted. The Australian tourist admitted that she was asked to sign an additional blue form when she was checking in at the Batik air counter in Melbourne. Her passport was 7 years old and was a little dirty, so they said, you need to take this form and give it to immigration when you get in. When she got here and submitted the blue form at Bali Immigration, she was pulled off into a room and interrogated for an hour. At that time, she said, people were coming in and out of the room speaking in Indonesia, well, surprise, and laughing, and so it scared her. And, well, that's understandable. If you don't understand Indonesian and authorities bring you into a room and they're coming in and out and talking and laughing, you got to wonder what's going on. Now, remember, this is her side of the story. So we've got one side, and the other side is obviously immigration is denying this at this point. So she said, they said, your passport is dirty, it's not acceptable, we're not going to give it back, but we can help you if you give us 1,500 Australian dollars. And she refused to do that. Her mother was with her, and then immigration talked to her mother, and her mother was also very upset. And so she agreed to pay the money. Once the money was paid, two were allegedly escorted out of the airport without any further comment. Head of the regional office of Ministry in Law and Human Rights in Bali denied the story conveyed by the Australian tourist. He said that he's asked for information from 3 immigration officers who examined the Australian tourist when they arrived in Bali. And he said initial information is that all staff who checked at that time did not impose sanctions. They did not charge anything, he said. Regardless, he said, still studying the allegations and, well, more information forthcoming. This is, of course, not the first problem with passports. Immigration apparently has gotten very picky about your passports. If you have a little tear, or if it's dirty, or if it's folded, you could have a problem. I've never seen this before personally. My passport has had holes in it from immigration officials and agents stapling visas and documents into my passport. Never any question about that. And well, over the last 33 years, my passports have gotten dirty, have gotten kind of bent up and things. Never an issue. It apparently is an issue now. So, hypothetical situation. I'm a tourist. I'm coming in. I look at my passport and, well, it's been around for 9 years. My passport's been around for 9 years. It's a little worse for wear, but it's not wet. Everything is clear. I read the news about this and I think, okay, a number of people have been stopped, refused entry into Bali because of their passport has got a little tear in it or it's dirty. Am I going to go to Bali? I might decide to go somewhere else, or I might decide to get a new passport. I don't know. Those are some options available. Whatever, this is not good for tourism in Bali, and so we'll have to wait and see what's happening with this situation. But as Pak Sandiaga said, let's keep our conclusions to ourselves until all of the facts are out. And speaking of tourism, wisdom shrinking foreign tourists survive. And so domestic tourist arrivals have shrunk. The kids are back in school. Hooray, my granddaughter's back in school. Organizers of tourist shows such as the Barong Dance, specifically made for domestic market, have felt the decline in terms of money. Last June, we played 2 to 3 times a day. Now we only play once, according to Imade Wija, head of a Barong operation in Sukawati, Gianyar. He said it was because the number of arrivals of wisdom, that's domestic tourists, have decreased. Previously, they came in dozens of buses, but now they're only getting 1 to 2 buses a day, and the number is not more than 100 people, and so income is down. He said last month income was maybe 50 million, but now maybe only 25 million. He said, yep, that's the way it is. So apart from the end of the holiday season, bad weather and traffic jams are also thought to have an impact on reducing tourism to some of the Bali places for tourists to go. He said, some of my guests canceled because of the weather and traffic jams. In contrast to domestic tourists, on the other hand, foreign tourists are still arriving and still wandering around to a number of tourist objects, including the Monkey Forest and Sangay Village and a number of other places, even up here in Denpasar and Singaraja. I saw a few tourists wandering around downtown Singaraja yesterday. So if you're traveling around the island, well, some good part about this is that you don't have those huge tourist buses full of school kids from Java clogging up the roads. They're all back in school. And so that will make the traffic a little less congested. And here's another tourist story, and interesting, and for a couple of reasons, which I'll get to at the end. Do it again. Viral Caucasians allegedly drinking alcohol drinks while driving. Bali police will investigate. So apparently a video clip is going viral. I've seen parts of it showing 2 foreign nationals drinking suspected alcoholic drinks. So 2 foreigners who are suspected of being lovers are sipping drinks casually on a motorbike while waiting for the traffic light to turn green. The drink, placed in green glass bottle, was being sipped alternately by the 2 alleged lovers. In addition to drinking drinks suspected of containing alcohol, the male foreigner, as a motorbike driver, was also seen smoking a cigar. I've never seen an Indonesian smoking a cigar or a cigarette on a bike. This incident is thought to have taken place in Bali because the plates on the motorcycle had the DK plates, so local plates, and this was reinforced by surrounding drivers whose plates were also DK. Responding to the foreigner's actions, the head of public relations of Bali police said that his party has not yet been able to make out the identity of the foreigner in question. They've got the plates. That should be a relatively easy thing to do. So they're conducting an investigation to discover the identity of the foreigners involved in the alleged drinking of alcohol. Police spokesperson emphasized that his party will take action against the Caucasians if it is found that they are drinking alcoholic beverages while driving, because that is against the law. It is indeed, and it's also stupid. And the police spokesperson said he suspects that they'll be caught quickly because right now we have the big traffic operation going on, as I talked about earlier in the video. And so we'll see. One of the things here is, well, they're alleging this is alcohol. Some people are drinking out of a green bottle. I saw the bottle. It was definitely not beer. I don't know. Could have been wine. Could have been champagne. Who knows? Could have been water. Could have been grape juice. The thing that bothers me about this is that it's assumed that they're drinking alcohol. Why? Because they're foreigners? If Indonesians were seen on a motorbike drinking out of a bottle, an unknown bottle, unknown liquid, would there be a search out for them to find out what they were doing? There are some problems with the things that are going on here, targeting foreigners, and this is what I've been talking about before. Whatever we do now is under scrutiny, and so you need to watch yourself if you are out in the streets. Make sure you're not doing anything that can be interpreted or misinterpreted as something breaking the law, because there'll be somebody there with a camera to catch you. And it's not only foreigners that are misbehaving and getting on social media. Viral: 3 grandfathers record Caucasian breast while sunbathing at Kuta Mandalika beach. So 3 Indonesian grandfathers, they call them grandfathers, 3 Indonesian old men whose identity is unknown went viral on social media while carrying out an indecent action on Mandalika beach in Lombok on Monday. The elderly men were wearing caps and sarongs, and they were deliberately filming the breast of a foreigner who was sunbathing on the beach. And no, according to the story, she was not naked. She was wearing a bikini. The action was recorded by an Instagram user, an Indonesian, and who put it on social media. It went viral. The indecent incident started when one of the old men went up to a young lady who was on the beach sunbathing with the intention of asking her some questions. He was holding his camera, his phone, and taking a video of her boobs while he was talking to her. He went back, talked to his friends who were sitting there, sharing the video, and went back several other times after that, continuing to record her. In the meantime, the guy who was making the video and putting it on social media said, hey, quit doing that. You're not supposed to do that. And he was talking to some people around, found out that they were from Central Java. They were not locals. So the police are out trying to find the identity of the 3 horny grandpas who are out filming a young lady. Of course, traffic is a major issue in Bali. Bali to build LRT, learning from Jakarta, according to the governor. So the governor was in Jakarta, and he stated that he's planning on building a rail-based public transportation system to alleviate traffic congestion, especially in Badung and Denpasar. Bali's provincial government has made an agreement with Jakarta to share information and get some help on building the LRT. This is supposed to alleviate all of these massive traffic problems that we have here. According to the governor, Bali has to learn from Jakarta regarding public transportation services. There's 5,646 square kilometers and a population of 4.3 million and a population density of 700 people per square kilometer. So the governor said rail-based transportation is necessary in order to ease gridlock. He added tourist areas such as Badung and Denpasar, especially Kuta and Sanur and Ubud, and of course Canggu, highly congested. The development of public transportation is expected to make Bali a comfortable destination for both domestic and foreign tourists. A feasibility study of the Bali LRT should be completed this year. And so that would be interesting to see a LRT here in Bali. Wow. But as with all infrastructure development and operations, well, who knows when we're going to see that. Maybe while I'm still around, maybe not. Okay, so that's it for today. The stress level here in Kampung Bugis is increasing daily as we're getting closer and closer to Lamaran, the first part of the wedding ceremony for my son. my stress level is going up as well, and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just paying. This may be the last news video for about a week because this is Wednesday. Friday, children will start showing up here, as well as neighbors and brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, to help my wife prepare all this stuff for the Le Mans. So it is going to be crazy. We're going to have grandkids, children, brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, neighbors, cousins, nephews. It's going to be a zoo. But it should be a good video if you want to find out about weddings and traditional weddings here, not some tourist weddings, but some traditional weddings. Well, this will give you a chance to find out how they work, because I'm going to be filming the whole thing. And so stay tuned for that. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.